right. So, here we are, 2019. I've decided to just go for it, right? Just make as much content as I possibly can. And that's going to start with everything on this YouTube channel. It's been a goal of mine to do this. I just kind of haven't had the motivation, but I've just become very motivated to do as much as I possibly can this year. And yeah, so what we're going to get into today is kind of my first photo edit session of 2020. And I took these photos when I was out with friends 2-3 nights ago. That was like a 3-hour thing. We just kind of drove around with some of their cars in the downtown area of where I live, and we just kind of went at it. And I finally had the time to sit down and kind of go over everything. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into it. So there was a bunch of photos here, right? Like I had an absolute shit ton of photos. I've already narrowed them down. I'm not going to touch these right now, just because I don't think it's as exciting as some of the other photos I've taken. And there's still a lot of photos here. I'm obviously just going to kind of go through everything and do as much as I can, and I'll time-lapse everything, or I'll skip ahead because I don't want this video to be too long. I don't want it to drag on. You'll get the basic premise of how I edit my photos and why I make certain choices, which is the point, right? To show the process of editing a photo, right? Okay. So this photo here, now I shot this on my buddy's A7R III. It was kind of my first time shooting on a Sony like that. So it wasn't the best experience for me. So I kind of have to try and fix this as much as I can in post. Yeah. So I like to think that my style of editing is very like particular, right? Like I'm a big fan of making sure that clarity is as high as it can, just because I think it makes the photos stand out a little bit better than most. And centering the frame of the subject, a little bit of noise reduction, because for some reason almost all of his photos turned out like noisy. It had a lot of grain to it, and I don't know why. This is kind of what I did to this photo. It still changes the entire photo, which is kind of my goal. If I can look at a photo from one spot to another and it's different and it's a noticeable difference and it makes the picture look better, then I've done my job. So, you know, I like to just play with the tint, play with the colors, see what I can make everything look like as good as it can look. And yeah. I like I said, I think I have a very distinct style when it comes to editing photos that some people just, you know, that's a huge difference, right? Like 100% day and night. It makes the photo just pop and makes everything kind of stand out compared to a flat photo like this. But for the most part, everything kind of stays the same in terms of colors and textures and clarity and all that good shit. And I need to think of more ideas for this, right? Because obviously it's not super entertaining to sit here and watch somebody just edit photos for, 5 to 10 minutes. And it's something I'm just trying to figure out the best way to make as much as possible content come out of one single night shoot. You know what I mean? So we'll go through, we'll speed lapse this, and I will see you guys in a few seconds. All right, so brought you back. This is very, very simple. You just saw me probably edit this one. I just went through and I kind of picked a few of my favorites. I really kind of like this headlight shot here. I don't have many of those, so, and I love blue. And I think that getting this headlight to stand out like that is very, very good. So I really like that photo, right? You can make the LEDs. I love the BMWs just because I think they look so damn good. We'll find one more and I'll actually walk you through it because I'm learning how to do this, like YouTube. So this is just a way for me to kind of express. And if I'm going to do this, I'm going to sit down and do it. I might as well make more content out of it, which is the point. So we'll do this one and I'll walk through my thought process. I always kind of up the contrast because I feel like certain cameras don't have a lot of contrast with it. Like I said, I like my videos, I like my pictures a little darker when it comes to stuff like this, right? So I'll drop the blacks, drop the whites, shadows, all that stuff. I'm more of an blue tint type of person. I think blue is easier on the eyes than orange, especially when a lot of the stuff is orange in the first place. And then we'll up the saturation, drop the vibrance a little, right? And then I think this honestly makes or break a photo is how. So you can do a lot of texture and a lot of clarity as long as the noise reduction goes on to sustain that. So give it a little bit of a dehaze, and I always vignette. That's literally what I do for every photo that I edit, right? No matter what I'm doing. That's basically it. If I have different types of photos that require ramps or gradients or anything, I will do that. But in this case, there's really no need to get that technical with it, right? This isn't something crazy. And yeah. So I think that is my overall process for how I edit videos. It's basically almost all the same, almost always. But yes, this is my first video. I have no clue what this is going to come out to, how long it's going to go, anything of the sort. I just kind of figured I'd film it, and I'll get better as I go along. Nobody makes a perfect first YouTube video. I think I'm going to fall under that category of completely not perfect, but maybe I'll get better as I go along because I'm going to stick with it. If not for people that watch me, for myself, to document myself moving forward throughout 2020. We are 4 days in, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to, subscribe, like, things that YouTubers do, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. So, fun fact, completely forgot to put into here, just in case it might find people helpful. As how I export my files. I literally entered the video and immediately went, yeah, I missed something. So we'll select just one of these files here. We'll do these two. We can do these three here, right? So 3 files that I finished, starting with this one, and this one, right? Not perfect. Honestly, it's not my best work in the world. There's probably a couple of things that I could fix to make it better for the next time around. But right now, it's good enough. I probably won't even post some of them. But it's just an example, right? So we'll go to here and we'll do export, and depending on how you're going to export it is completely up to you, right? So for the sake of size, I almost always do JPEG, and full size 100%, right? This is still the raw size, so for certain things it might not work, but just for here we'll make it work. And we're going to go export here. We're going to go to my drive here. And I'm basically just picking where they're going to be, which is in here and finals. So, yeah. So it'll export everything, and you'll be good to go. Now, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.